let's move down over here. We're gonna skip the S for a second. What is this mustache? Why is there a mustache here? Okay, well, a simple mustache. Let's see where this goes. Okay, well, if we have, I don't know, nose here, some glasses, maybe eyes, we can see that it's a mustache shape. We can draw that. You can draw that. Let's actually do that over here on the side. Well, it starts here, curves upward like a little bell, and again that way, and it does a little shape like that. It's just a mustache. You can do that, right? I believe you can. And you can sort of see that there's going to be a circle that fits right in here as a negative space. And that same circle can fit down here, and inside there somewhat. We can even say that this mustache, if you can learn this, you can also learn another version of it. So if we have the first side of it, so we're going to draw that. I promise this will make sense. And we draw that line. But instead of drawing this as an equal mirror, let's draw it kind of squished in a little bit. So we're going to kind of fit it into here. Okay. And just to further drive home that this is just a simple mustache shape of a cartoon character. You draw the nose, you got the glasses and the eyes. Maybe he's an angry dude, giant ears, whatever. It's just a mustache. Or is it? Because now what we can do is this. It'll make sense. Now we have the mouth, the nose, and the eyes. And just like that, you just learned in a very simple way how to draw the underside of the jaw. Ta-da! It's a very difficult angle to draw, but if you can learn just that mustache shape, of course, it varies depending on the characters. Now you can figure out what kind of shape you have to kind of get in there and shade for the shadow side. All right, then you might be asking, well, why did we draw the half version of it over here where the other half is squished? Well, now if we take that slug that we drew, the first shape here, okay, what about the other one, the little slug here? Okay, now we just did a bit of complex drawing by only learning some basic shapes. Okay, that looks messed up, but let's make it a little bit higher. And I just made the mistake that I talked about. This forehead's way too big. It should be more of a sliver from this angle. And then this should actually angle a little bit more this way, like that. But the point is, you can break down these shapes into 2D things that are easy to draw, like a mustache or a slug or a heart shape, and use them as a starting point to make the rest of the process easier. So when I draw, I'm mixing methods like this of 2D shapes as well as form, as well as observation and measuring different landmarks and pinpoints. And so we'll just call that an underlay drawing because that's looking a bit sloppy here. But you know, it's not always this specific and obvious, and we'll be looking at a photo in a moment to test this. But if you take this shape and move it down a little bit like that, that can kind of tell you where that neck is going to be as well. Right? Now that person looks like he's looking down on you and judging. And then instead of drawing this line, we're just going to put a shade of value there. I'm going to erase that. Right? It's not perfect. That's not the point. Now we know how to look for shapes like this. Let's go ahead and test that in actual photos. So they're going to be definitely different for each person and less clear depending on the anatomy of the person, obviously. So in this case, you can definitely see that negative space doing that curvature over here. And if we were to kind of do a sort of x-ray in there, you can kind of see the form of that mustache shape going to the side in perspective here. And so I would say grab a bunch of images like this from the reference provided and trace over it and look for that shape. So here we can see it pretty clearly. It's a much thinner mustache, but that's the whole point. To learn the 2D shape, you can make it wider, thinner, smaller, taller. It's going to be different for everyone. But there it is. That's, you can almost imagine the little face of our guy with the mustache, and you can kind of do that. So let's check out this person here, and it's a little bit trickier to see. Let's make it a little bit more visible. But there it is. It's a curve that goes up like this and up again. See, it peaks up, goes down, then up again. And this one obviously is in perspective slightly. Same thing over here. Goes and wraps around. You can see the geometry of the bottom side of the jaw here, and that is that mustache shape in perspective. Cool. Practice that shape and you'll see wonders.